What's up guys, Boris here, and if you're as big of a One Piece fan as I am, you know that there's such a large universe when it comes to the One Piece world that there's a lot of information for even one person to know it all. So today I'm bringing you guys some pretty interesting facts. Some of them you might know, some of them you might not know. So the way I'm going to do it guys is that I'm going to pair each individual fact with a question ranging from 1 star, which is going to be very easy, to 5 star, which is going to be challenging for even the most loyal fan. Hopefully you guys enjoy the idea. So with that said, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Time to test your One Piece trivia knowledge. So let's start with the easy question. Who is the author of One Piece? The answer is Eiichiro Oda, and this guy is an amazing person. Really, I appreciate the fact that he's given up a large portion of his life to work on the series of One Piece. But let me just say that there's one very interesting fact about him that stands out, at least to me, among the rest, and that is the fact that Eiichiro Oda, back in an interview in 2012, said that he only gets 3 hours of sleep. He goes to bed at 2 a.m. and then wakes up at 5 a.m. every single day, and then he doesn't really have time for days off, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. But thankfully, if you're worried about his sleep schedule, in 2014 he made another interview where he said that he actually now gets 4 hours of sleep instead of 3, which is still pretty crazy. But if you add it up, it adds up to over 15 extra days of sleep time in the course of a year. So that's a bit, that's not too bad. That's a pretty big jump. So pretty interesting. And again, thanks again to Oda for all the hard work he's put in to make this amazing series. Now for the second fact, we're going to be talking about the One Piece cover stories. Now if you are an anime only watcher, you might not be familiar with these cover stories, which are stories that span across multiple chapters of the One Piece manga as the cover pages. And it's really interesting because a lot of these stories end up playing a major role down the line. Now unfortunately, when it comes to the animated version of these, there have only been a small number of these cover stories that have been animated, and the reason as to why they've only done the small amount we're not sure of yet. But I do recommend that if you are an anime only watcher, or if you maybe are a manga reader but haven't seen some of the older ones, you should always go back to them. So the number 2 question is, how many of the One Piece cover stories have been animated in the One Piece anime? If you answered 3, then you guessed it right. The 3 cover stories that have been animated thus far are Buggy's Crew After the Battle, Diary of Kobe Meppo, and the Straw Hats Separation Serial. Now it's interesting that there's a huge gap between the second and the third one. My guess as to why they didn't continue animating these cover stories is just due to the fact that they do not contain the main characters, which are the Straw Hats. So potentially they saw it that as a way which viewers might get disinterested in the series. But hopefully at some point down the line they do reanimate, or they do animate some of these that they have missed, because they are very important to the future of the series. So again, if you haven't checked some of them out, definitely go back and check them out yourself, because they're very fun and definitely important to the story. Moving on to fact number 3, we're going to be talking about the age of One Piece. Now, if you are someone who has started the series recently, and by recently I mean in the past 4 to 5 years, then this will come as a shock. But One Piece has been running for so long that soon it's going to be celebrating a pretty big milestone. So my question to you is, what is the original year in which the manga was first serialized? The original run of One Piece began on July 19th, 1997. That means that next year, in 2017, we will celebrate the 20th anniversary of One Piece. And like I said, if you're someone who started it in the past 4 to 5 years, it just seems crazy that the manga has been going on for such a long time. And I'm excited to see just how much longer it will continue. And I do also want to say that if you're someone who's been following the series since the beginning, I just can't imagine how much fun the ride has been. So these first 3 were pretty easy, but let's see how you guys do with the next 2. Oda tends to introduce these secret characters that are very hard to find in the series of One Piece, and I assume it's one way that he has fun and passes the time while he's working on the manga. And the most famous one of these guys is known as Pandaman. But He's not the only one. There are several other secret characters, or you can consider them joke characters, in the series of One Piece. So, 4-star question, here we go. What is the name of the debt collector which Pandaman is always on the run from? If you said Tomato Gang, then you are correct. Now, it's really tough to spot him, but people have managed to track down his first appearance all the way back to Alabasta. And as you can see, he tends to appear in the same panels as Pandaman, which makes sense since Pandaman is on the run from Tomato Gang, who is said to be a debt collector trying to collect his money from Pandaman. So, unfortunately, the last time we see him is during the Water 7 arc. I would love to see him again in the manga, but we're always keeping our eyes peeled to see if we can find Tomato Gang once more. And of course, like I said, there are other sort of jokes / secret characters, and hopefully you guys have fun trying to find them. Okay, so it's time for the 5-star fact. Now, let's see if how many of you guys will know this one, because it's a pretty good one. So, we just talked about the secret characters of One Piece, and this time we're going to be focusing on Pandaman himself. So, Pandaman happened to be originally created by Eiichiro Oda for a competition in which if he won, he would be allowed to use that character in a specific manga at the time. And he actually did win, and you can see Pandaman in another manga apart from One Piece. So, the question here is, which manga was Pandaman originally designed for by Oda? The answer is Kinnikuman. And in case you guys don't know who that is, you guys might recognize him as Ultimate Muscle over here in the West. Now, I do want to clarify that Pandaman did not actually end up in the manga itself or in the anime, but he did end up as one of the winners for the 77 Mysteries Kinnikuman tribute book, which is pretty interesting. That's what Oda originally created him for, and it's really cool to see what he's done with Pandaman. And even more surprising is the fact that he's actually made a surprise appearance in one of the Kinnikuman video games. I think it's either the GameCube or the PlayStation 1. He's actually a secret unlockable character, and that's pretty funny that he actually managed to do a little cameo in that. So overall, something really interesting. I didn't know that. Did you guys? So let me know if you guys enjoyed these 5 very interesting and amazing facts about One Piece. If you guys want to see an episode 2, definitely let me know down below, and I can definitely do an episode 2. Hopefully I can do a lot more of these. I like making these kinds of videos, and hopefully you guys enjoy watching them. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and until next time guys, thanks for watching.